Well, hello everybody, and welcome to InfoWars Press, also streaming on American in Crimea right now. I had hoped to do a actual video and edit it for today, but it was one of those days, and the news kept changing much quicker than I could deal with it. So this is what it is. So let's start out with the big one for propaganda right now, which is Navalny's death. Um, it's said by the Russian prison officials that he was out for a walk, he got dizzy, went unconscious, and died. They say it was a blood clot. Now, expect the West to just go wild with this. Putin had him shot, Putin threw him out a window, Putin poisoned him to death. I had actually hoped to get out ahead of this today, but as we can see, the Guardian already is criticizing Putin. The Western officials are describing it as a political assassination. So, keep in mind, wait for a while, see what actually happens. It's it will be what it will be in the end. I seriously doubted it was an assassination, but you can expect this is what you're going to hear. Now, the other thing that I was going to talk about originally today was the EU plans to sanction North Korea over missile supplies to Russia. This was reported by Bloomberg today. And, this is just amazing, this propaganda. I'm seeing, all this talk about North Korea, shame on you. Let's sanction them. Let's sanction Iran for providing drones. Okay, let's look at the sinking of the ship a couple of days ago. They were British-made drones. They technically weren't British-made. They were British parts that were shipped to Ukraine. Ukraine assembled them and then sunk the ship with them. So they were British drones as much as Russia is using Iranian drones. Iran sends parts to Russia. Russia assembles them, slaps new label on them. There you go, same thing. So this is really, the pot calling the kettle black here. So let's look at a few of the other things that are going on just to kind of prove a point over all this and what you have to watch out for. The Netherlands has joined the military drone coalition for Ukraine. So they're getting together with a bunch of other Western countries. They're going to ship upwards of, the last report I saw was 1 million drones to Ukraine. Now, where they're going to get the money to build them and how quickly they can build them is another thing. But this is EU countries getting together to supply drones and drone parts. Germany is going to provide Ukraine 3 to 4 times more artillery shells than in the past. So all I can say about that is obviously they haven't been supplying many because it was just a couple months ago they said they had nothing left to give to Ukraine. They didn't all of a sudden manufacture a pile of them, considering they get a majority of them from the United States, and the United States can't keep up with it. Now, on Wednesday, the EU ambassadors agreed that documents necessary to provide Ukraine with assistance in the amount of 50 billion euros was A-okay with them. So let's throw another 50 billion euros at it. And of course, we've got the United States trying to send another 60 billion, dollars to them. Norway is going to begin training Ukrainian Marines to conduct operations on small boats this spring. So does it mean they're going to do operations towards itty bitty little boats, or they're going to use small boats? They're going to use small boats. They've been attempting this for months, and they keep getting shot out of the water by helicopters off Crimea. So this goes back to their terror attack sort of things. And the NATO countries agreed to create a training center for Ukraine in Poland. This was announced by Stoltenberg yesterday. And I have a source that reported that at factories in Poland, the Czech Republic, and the Baltic states, where faulty Ukrainian military equipment is repaired, there are huge delays and problems with the repairs. They don't have the parts, they don't have the general knowledge to repair what they're trying to repair. So, again, it's propaganda. We're going to send a pile of stuff to Ukraine. They're going to win over Russia. But we're going to sanction anybody who helps Russia. So pot calling the kettle black. Now, China has come out, and at the UN, they demanded that the US stop arms sales to Ukraine to allow diplomatic efforts to work. This is a little bit ridiculous as well. I heard in a couple of places today that, Putin was insincere in his interview with Tucker Carlson about, all Biden has to do is stop sending weapons, and, we're ready to negotiate. And I've seen several Russian reports this week that, hey, we know that Russia isn't willing to negotiate. Well, they've been willing all along. You remember back Turkey a couple of years ago, they had an agreement pretty much on the table. But, so now we've got China waiting for diplomatic relations to happen. Now, what does that mean? It'll be on Russia's terms. I have no doubt in that. You look at the front lines today, they're running all over Ukraine. But the guys on the front with Ukraine, the Russian guys, are saying that they do have some skirmishes and they have to be careful. They have to be aware of things. So I'm going to quickly go through the chat here because normally I can watch the chat while Arkady talks. Can't do it when I'm here alone. So let me see if there's anything we need to address. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful, they probably have Navalny on camera passing out. And, the evidence will be released and it will be called falsified. So we know that. But yeah, it's not an assassination either. Oh, by the way, they found another Putin palace up by Finland, of all places, today. So that's something else for you to look at in the news. So now we have two of them. Navalny found one that doesn't belong to Putin, that belongs to Putin, that doesn't really exist. Now there's one up by Finland. So, yeah, Jay, I agree. Navalny's irrelevant other than for his, girlfriend, wife, whatever she is. And, he's really been no danger to Russia all along. And yeah, he was corrupt CIA and NGO asset. Given past articles, British participation in terrorism isn't far-fetched even. But yep, correct, Mr. Wonderful. You're right. Prevail partners, let's see, we'll put this on the screen. Yep. So we've got all of this stuff going on, but Russia's the bad guys for, doing what Putin said that he does the other day. Now, I have a guest coming on our stream tomorrow. So you guys want to be there. You want to hear about propaganda. This will be in the American in Crimea stream tomorrow. And is who this is gotta get his name on the top of my head. It's been one of those days. Daniil. I know Daniil by his first name. And call me stupid right now. Like I say, been one of those days, was at the hospital all week, needed a prescription changed. Family doctor said, go to the endocrinologist in Yalta. The endocrinologist in Yalta said, gee, you have to go to the hospital to get a prescription changed. And of course, I got there, and guess what the hospital said? What are you doing here? Why didn't the doctor just change it? And so that's, decided to get a whole checkup anyway. Anyway, I'll put an announcement out. I've got Daniil Bezanov coming on the channel. Hey, TW. So Daniil Bezanov was actually the information minister of the Donetsk People's Republic for several years. He is now doing propaganda warfare from Donetsk, and he is also fighting on the front lines. So we will tread carefully on this one, but this is a man who has done published papers on propaganda. So we'll be talking to him, Arkady and I, tomorrow. My Russian isn't good enough to keep up with him. His English isn't good enough to keep up with me. We do communicate, but he'll be on tomorrow, and Arkady will be the interpreter. So we look forward to seeing you guys. That's all we've got. Short 12-minute video tonight. And if you got any questions, toss them out there quickly. Otherwise, hey, Dave. Otherwise, I'm going to cut this off. I'm actually going to try to get some dinner at 8:45 at night and be prepared for my early morning stream tomorrow. So no questions. Okay. Thank you all for coming. It was good to have you. Just throwing some news out there for you to look at propaganda wise. So thank you all, and have a good one. Talk to you later.